Lisa, Rosé, and Jenny. 4 names I never thought I'd mention in my video. Together they make up the K-pop girl band Blackpink. Of course, I don't have to tell you that. You already knew it. There's also their counterparts, BTS. And together, they've taken the pop world by storm. How did they do it? How did Korean pop groups come to be so popular around the world? And it's not just the music industry. Korean technology like Samsung, LG, Hyundai have dominated international markets. Korean cuisine is also in demand. K-barbecue restaurants are all over Singapore. There's also K-drama on Netflix that's all the rage with the young and old. And why is this important, you ask? There's a lesson in all of this for us in Singapore, and it's an important one. In much of the 1980s and 90s, South Korea was far from what it is today. I remember watching news reports of almost daily clashes between students and workers against the government, which at that time were army-run dictatorships. Korean citizens were fighting for democracy and political freedom in their country. Towards the later part of the 90s, I met a Korean opposition leader by the name of Kim Dae-jung. Kim was persecuted and arrested several times for his opposition to the military rulers. Now, during some of my meetings with him, Kim said that democracy was not just important in and of itself, but it was also important for meaningful and quality economic growth that benefited the Korean people. I shared that view and expressed the same for Singapore. In 1998, when the military grip on the country began to ease, Kim Dae-jung stood in the presidential elections and won. After he was elected, President Kim invited me and a few other Asian Democrats to the Blue House, Korea's presidential residence. Now, during our meeting, I asked him if he was still going to press on with his plans to democratize Korea. He assured us that it was still his administration's priority to bring the full impact of democracy to his country. In his inaugural address, he said, "Participatory democracy must be put into practice. The people must be treated as masters. I will pay any price to realize politics by the people and politics in which the people are the masters." By the way, Kim was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in the year 2000. And so began the messy process of democratization of Korea, and together with it, the K-wave that brought pride and prosperity to the Korean people and exported Korean might to the rest of the world. How does liberalization of Korea have anything to do with K-wave? For creative ideas to thrive, and creativity is the mother of music, drama, technology, and even food. The freedom to express oneself and to question and challenge ideas and views, especially those of authority, is absolutely crucial. It's not hard to understand. Financial analyst Michael Schuman said in Time magazine in 2010, "Fear caused by political control doesn't foster an atmosphere conducive to free thinking. Censorship and limitations on information curtail the knowledge and debate necessary for the generation of new ideas." I'm not the only one who believes this is true. Some Koreans argue that the country couldn't have become more innovative without democracy. Singapore's model could not be any more different from that of present-day Korea. Instead of letting Singaporeans be the masters of our country and the drivers of our economy, the PAP sits atop everything and maintains a suffocatingly undemocratic grip on the people. And this is why we are still struggling to be productive and innovative. We may have been successful in the past, I don't deny that. But it is the future that we have to be concerned about. And the future calls for a free and democratic society in Singapore, especially if we are going to thrive socially and economically. Depending on a rent-seeking economy and billionaire foreigners to help our growth while denying Singaporeans democracy and our freedoms is a dead-end street. And it's not just Korea. Taiwan is another example of how the government has enabled the Taiwanese people to thrive. Today, Taiwan boasts of global giants like TSMC, Asus, Acer, United Microelectronics, Din Tai Fung, Gongcha, and the list goes on. Similarly, Japan's rise has been nothing short of miraculous. Right after World War II in the 1950s, it started its industrialization drive and the Japanese people produced world beaters in the car and electronics industries, where its products have become household names. Its video games like Nintendo and Pokemon have invaded the world. Within a matter of decades, Japan rose to become the world's second largest economy by the 1980s. Here's the unvarnished truth. To transform their economy, Korea relied on Koreans. Japan relied on the Japanese. Taiwan relied on the Taiwanese people. Singapore, we had to rely on foreigners. And listen to what PM Lee Hsien Loong said in 2023 about responding to new technologies and AI. He said, "We need to complement our own talent with skilled professionals from all over the world who have the expertise and experience to help us make this transformation." If after 60 years of uninterrupted PAP rule and running an economy that has injected massive numbers of foreigners, and we still haven't acquired the expertise and experience on how to transform our present economy, then something, somewhere has gone very wrong. At this stage of our development, we should be in the same league as the Koreans, Japanese, and Taiwanese, developing and exporting our own technologies and know-how. The SDP has produced our alternative ideas for Singapore. One of them is the crucial development of democracy in our own country. In and of itself, democratic freedoms will enhance the quality of life of Singaporeans. But freedom and democracy are also the way to transform our economy and enable us to compete in a world that is crucially dependent on innovation and productivity. Two processes that are woefully lacking in our country. In explaining why we are not more productive and innovative, the Economist Intelligence Unit says that for Singapore, democracy and free debate are critical for innovation. Now, the evidence is clear. What we need to do is clear. The path ahead is clear. The question is whether Singaporeans will take that path, the path that will bring us more meaningful, more rewarding, and a higher quality of life. I continue to be hopeful and believe that Singaporeans will see what's at stake and do the right thing. The opportunity lies in the next general elections.